Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining me tonight. Tonight, I thought I would do something a little bit different. You see, I've read your tarot before, but I've never really read my own tarot in such a open way. So I thought tonight I would read my tarot for you. And that is so that you can learn from the way I interpret tarot for myself. In this way, it will be the most authentic, because I do not know what the cards are going to show me, and they will be much more personal. And should you ever want to learn how to read the tarot, you need to learn how to perceive your own feelings and thoughts. I also have some crystals here. But I'm going to show them to you a little bit later. For now, it's all about the shuffle. Tarot is just like any other medium. It is symbolism and encrypted language that lays within these cards. And the tarot has a way of showing us our deeper and innermost thoughts. It is the physical manifestation of being able to decrypt these codes that lay all around us. They lay dormant in many cases. In other cases, they speak to us, just as the forces of the universe speak to us. And when literally. Then you can perceive what lies beyond the veil. So let's begin. I believe the cards that are needed for me to read are right here. We will do this reading in a group of 3. Past, present, future. 3 is the Holy Trinity, the binding force. And so the first card is the King of Pentacles. Immediately I feel a sense of release. The King embodies all the natural elements of masculinity. He represents Earth. When you take a closer look, you can see that he is entwined with nature. All around him, living things grow. And the pentacle represents the earthly plane. And so, to be a king of the earthly plane means that you have understood the masculine energy that is a part of all of nature. That does not mean you have understood the feminine side that is a part of all nature, of all existence. Truly it seems to me that the king contemplates the material world. He is not against it, nor is he for it. He is balanced. And so, somewhere in my past, I have become balanced material world. This can also represent the first chakra. It is the climbing of stages of the Kundalini energy. I believe it represents my journey up until now. It is a grounding force, and the card is that of a stable presence. The second card, I wonder if it will be a major card or if it will be a minor. Here we have minor. And it is a major card. I shall show it to you. I am quite surprised at my drawing of these cards. Although the cards don't necessarily need to be depicted on their aesthetic images, I have a strong sense of masculine energy. Seems in my present. Justice is apparent. If we take a look at the symbolism, with his sword he points to the heavens, and with his scales he points to the earth. And here he sits in front of the veil behind the two pillars. But what he represents is actually a mystery to me in this moment. There are some cards that I know the meaning of straight away, but this card throws me off balance because I do not resonate with this card usually. But that is why I have my book on hand, because there are always times when I cannot decipher even my own messages. I will read to you what it says so that we can understand a little bit better about my energy. It is card number 11. It indicates the physical, the psychic laws of justice by which we advance according to our ability to understand the past depends on seeing the truth about ourselves and about life. The tarot justitia, therefore wears no blindfold. So far we have spoken of the second line as a process of withdrawal, and these are the earlier cards of the tarot. Sword, an emblem of action, point straight upward, indicating both resolve and the idea that wisdom is like a sword piercing through the illusion of events, to find the inner meaning. We are formed by the actions we have taken in the past. We form our future selves by the actions that we take now. On the microcosmic level of personal psychology, the Wheel of Fortune represented a vision of a person's life, the events, who you are, what you've made of yourself. Justice indicates an understanding of that vision. The way to understanding lies in responsibility. As long as we believe that our past lives just happen, we do not bring our own selves into existence through everything we do, and the past remains a mystery. And the future, an endlessly turning wheel, empty of meaning. But when we accept that in every event in our lives has helped us to form our character, and that in the future we will continue to create ourselves through our actions, then the sword of wisdom goes through the mystery. Further, by accepting responsibility for ourselves, we paradoxically free ourselves from the past. Like Buddha remembering all his lives, we can choose to let go of the past by becoming conscious of it. Otherwise, we constantly repeat past behavior. This is why justice belongs in the center of our lives. The ego may be only a persona, a kind of mask, but that mask can control us as long as we will not admit having forged it ourselves. Balanced scales of justice again suggest that stationary point. When we find the center of our lives, everything comes into balance. When all the opposites, including past and future, come into balance, we are able to be free within ourselves. Cannot become honest with ourselves without extending that honesty to our dealings with other people. In this sense, the card carries the obvious meanings of justice, honesty, fairness, correct actions, and of course, in legal and other matters, a just decision, but not necessarily a decision a person might prefer. Well, I have to break out of my shell a little here, my relaxed shell, because this information is quite potent to me. As I read those words, before were a mystery to me, because I was not very aware of the Justice card, and that is why I could not make an easy assumption as to what this card represented, not only in itself, but in relation to me. And it seems to me that this card is one that I must meditate on, because I feel as though in my waking life I do not repeat the same mistakes. However, in my dreaming world, I have recurring dreams, and they are the most frustrating dreams because they entail my past. And for the life of me, I could not understand until now why I must relive these past experiences. But the way I understand it now is that I did not yet come to take responsibility completely for my past. Although the bad things that happen to us in life are not necessarily our fault, the way that we react to them is our fault. And so, I am not recognizing that certain events in a person's life make them who they are in the present moment. And instead of accepting this, I constantly ask life, but why must I endure? Yet it has already been and gone, but I cannot help but dwell on those past experiences. And so my subconscious lends these dreams to me until I get the message. And so I think for me, I must meditate to completely understand the messages here tonight. And the third card of this evening that I am somewhat apprehensive to see, since it is the future. Good or bad, I shall receive it in its purest form. Well, is a minor card, but it is the greatest of the 4 minor cards because it is an ace. And the ace represents the strongest of each suit. This cup, of course, is water. It is cups. It is reflection. The mirrors that lie within all of us is what is represented externally through water and internally through the subconscious. To me, this card represents the ever-growing and expansiveness of knowledge that is to be found in the universe, and in turn within me. All I know is that I feel peace when I look at this card. Since the aces represent the strongest of the suits, it seems that within the future, which is only another way of making a differentiation between time and space. Really, these 3 cards are in fact present right now. But I have not yet realized this, but it is coming. From the king's conflicting emotions, through the various bounces of celebration and passivity, we arrive finally at the ace, emblem of love underpinning life. The Ace of Cups has the immediate meaning of a time of happiness and love, a gift of joy. Just as fire makes the world, so love gives it value. The allegory tells us that the world does not function primarily by its laws, its moral order, and its social structures, but rather by the spiritual basis which gives all these things meaning and protects them from corruption. When we look at existence as something solely to be conquered, brackets, the way Arthur's knights went after the Grail, end brackets, we bring only chaos. Cups, water symbolize receptivity, love, and ultimately life cannot be seized but only accepted. And so those are my personal readings that I wanted to share with you. I haven't done a tarot reading for myself in several months, as far as I'm aware. At least I haven't done one really internalizing the cards and taking them on a more personal level. This one stands out to me the most. Although to look at it, I was unsure of his messages, and I thought justice was related to law and the masculine forces that withhold law, and it is true that it does denote a type of law, but it is much more grounded in the truth and the reality of life.